Come to standing, lift and roll your shoulders, just opening your palms upwards. Pressing your feet down, just press your hands against your thighs. That pushes you in at that point, and it automatically invites you to slightly bring your lower abdomen, your tummy in, and lift at the chest. And then just start, as we so often do, going from side to side. This really is a brilliant clearer or a cleanser. If you're ever going to travel again, I guess we will be, but in an airport queue or any queue at all, you can go from side to side without swinging your arms so that you're not attracting attention. But it's such an energy clearer. And then start to slow down. And then come to stillness. Lift and roll your shoulders. Turn your head from side to side. Breathing in, raise your hands and hold your thumbs. And just again, go from side to side. And come to the centre and lower your hands. So, we've done this before, but it's part of a series going back to the ancient warriors, the Kerala warriors, for boosting the whole system. For them it was for fight, but this was part of their training. So I'm not going to do it too much, but I know some of you have done this before. I'm just lifting my heels and bouncing them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's just getting a vibration going through your whole body, but without stressing the system. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So you can carry on doing this, or if you want to be very energetic, you can 1, 2, 3. I'm jumping. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can go around in a circle or stay looking ahead. And last 3. And then just sway from side to side. It raises your energy very quickly. And come to standstill, lift and roll your shoulders. Raise your hands up, reverse. Lower your hands back down alongside you. And then raising your hands up, reverse. Lift your heels. And then breathing out, lower your heels, lower your hands. Raise one arm, it doesn't matter which, and just come over to the side. Use your other hand against your thigh to support you. Come up to the centre and lower. And raise the other hand up, going over to the side and lowering. Lift and roll your shoulders. Circle your wrists. Bring your palms behind your back, symbolically to just clear the energy. Slide your hands and then just go. Circle your wrists. Bring them behind your kidneys and circle your wrists. Bring them behind and lift and roll your shoulders. Bring one hand to the front, one hand behind, palm however it works, back or front, and just turn to one side. Come to the centre, and you might want to change hands to turn to the other side. And come to the centre. And then raise your hands up like sun rays to the sunshine today. Stretch your hands out, looking either ahead or up. And then circle your hands down. And bring your hands into something called Hakini Mudra. So the tips of the fingers are together. You've got energetic energy paths emanating from your fingers. You know, if you touch a door, you can get electrical energy. So this brings all the fingers together and it recircuits the energy back into your body. And it's meant to be very helpful for focus and concentration. You'll sometimes think people they're thinking and they'll go like that naturally. And as I said, it's called Hakini Mudra, so it's very much focusing and rejuvenating for the brain. And then release. Lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, hands up, stretch up, feet down. Breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, hands down. Turn to your right, a quarter turn. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, hands down. Again, a quarter turn so that your back is to the screen. Breathing in as you did before, hands up and hands down. You're turning through the entire, all the directions. Turn again to a quarter turn. The change doesn't allow you to cling to any thoughts. It kind of frees the mind. And then you're coming back to the centre. Again, hands up and hands down. Lift and roll your shoulders. Bring your hands to the centre. Circle your hands up to touch palms. And then bring your hands down through the centre as you bend your knees, touching your hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen your back as you straighten your legs. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften your feet, soften your knees, press your feet into the ground as you roll up to standing. Hands together at the heart centre. Inhaling, hands up, touching at the palms. Bring down through the centre. Bend your knees, touch your palms to the ground. Inhaling, straighten your legs flat back. Stay here as you breathe out. And next, breathing in, press your feet into the ground, bend your knees and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And bring your hands together. Inhaling, hands up, stretch your fingers. Hands together at the palm centre as you roll down vertebra by vertebra. Inhaling, lengthening your spine. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften your knees as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And then bring your hands back through to the centre. And then just release. Again, just make a ball, imaginary beach ball. Turn to the left. And as you get to the left, reverse your hand so that your left hand is on top. You're leading with your left elbow as you go over to the right. Turn. Your right elbow leads as you come round. And turn. And turn. And turn. And then come back to the centre. Release your hands. Bring your hands up. Reverse. Stretch up. Separate your hands or bring them down and then separate. You don't have to separate. You can bring them down or separate them as you just lower your hands down. And then inhaling. Raise your hands up, clasp, reverse, upwards. And then either keeping them together or you can separate them slightly as you push down. Again, this is very much a Tai Chi movement. And again, it's to the heavens and the earth. So here we're going to the sky, stretching up and then reversing. As you bring your hands either still clasped, palms down, or just slightly apart, you choose. Back down. Lift and roll your shoulders, hands at the heart centre, and then come to lying on your backs. Legs out in front of you. And extend both heels. And relax your legs. So extend your left heel and raise your right arm. So you have a diagonal stretch up and behind you. Just stay here for an in and an out breath. Breathing out, lower your right arm and relax your left leg. Breathing in. Extend your right heel and raise your left arm. So you've got a diagonal stretch along the body. Stay here for an in and out breath. And when you next breathe out, start to lower your left arm and relax your right foot. Extend both feet, and as you breathe in, raise both arms up above you, stretching up. Your chin should go down towards your chest. And then breathing out, lower both arms back down to the ground and relax your feet. Keep your hands either palms down on the floor or resting on your abdomen. As you circle the ankles in one direction, and then circle the ankles in the other direction. Extend all your feet and relax. And extend your feet and relax. Bend one knee and bend the other so that you're lying with your feet on the ground, hip width apart, your knees are bent and up towards the ceiling. Bend your elbows and clasp your hands underneath your head. Your elbows are out to the side. And breathing out, flatten your back to the ground and just lift your head up slightly to look at your knees. And then release back down and feel a little gap under your back. Press the back into the ground, the lower back into the ground, and just lift up slightly. And then breathing out, just release back down to the ground. Breathing out, flatten your back, lifting up slightly, you're not going very far. And then relax back down again. Keep your right hand underneath your head to support it. Bend your left knee and hold your left knee with your left hand. Breathing out, lift your head up and aim your right elbow towards your left knee. And breathing out, just release and relax back down again. Breathing out, lift your head, support it with your right hand, aiming the right elbow towards the left knee. And one final time, breathing out, lift up your head, right elbow towards the left knee, and release and relax. Put your left foot onto the ground. Slide your left hand under your head to support it, and then your right hand can hold your right knee. And the same on this side. As you breathe out, just lift your head and aim your left elbow towards your right knee, and release back down to the ground. Breathing out, lifting up, aiming your left elbow towards the right knee, and then back down to the ground. And last time is we're lifting up, aiming the left elbow towards the right knee, and releasing back down. Release your right foot and just slide your left hand out from under the head. Your knees are still hip width apart, knees are bent. Open your arms out to a T, palms down. If that's too much under your arms, then you can lower your arms to an A shape. Your feet might like to come wider than hip width apart as you just drop both knees down to the right. Turn your left palm up to the ceiling, the earth is supporting your left shoulder, and turn your head away from the knees to the left. You can look either along your left arm or look up to the ceiling. And just take a breath here in and out. Feel your left hip is lifting, and feel the right top of the bottom being it's on a major acupressure point there, just being teased out. The muscles are just being got at. And then very gently bring both knees back to centre. Turn your left palm down and your head comes back to centre. And then both knees drift over towards the left. Your right palm turns up and you turn your head towards the right. Just staying here for an in and an out breath. And then very gently bring your knees back to the centre and hug one knee into the chest and then the other. And just gently rock from side to side. And then holding both knees, let both knees travel out away from you to arm's length. Breathing out, hug both knees into the chest. Breathing in, let both knees, still holding them, travel away from you to arm's length. And breathing out, hugging both knees into the chest. Breathing in again, just let the knees drift away. And breathing out, hugging both knees into the chest. And do that a couple of times in your own breath pattern. You're pulsing across your lower back. So if anyone has had headaches, this is particularly good for pain relief, because as the blood is being just slightly pulsed at your lower spine, it goes all the way up to your head. And then slide your hands down your shins. Your elbows might almost come inside, and your big toes sort of aim together. You're holding your legs really at the lower shin level. Your knees are out, and your big toes, mine aren't touching, but they're kind of saying hello to one another. There's a gap between them. And you'll feel yourself opening in the inner groin. And just very gently rock from side to side. That rock can be tiny, just almost millimeters. Or you can stay static. And you're opening up the inner groin, so that is part of, you've got some lymph nodes there in the inner groin area, so that's really quite helpful for that. And then place your right foot on the floor, knee upwards, and slide your left hand. You can support your left leg, your left foot with your right hand, but slide your left hand underneath your left sole of your foot. Half happy baby. You're aiming your knee down to the ground, sole of the foot up to the ceiling. And your right hand just holds your right waist. It's a slightly different sensation when you do a half happy baby to a full happy baby. You tend to get the knee down a bit further to the ground. And then very gently release that half happy baby hold by putting your left foot on the ground. And come to half happy baby on the right side by bending the right knee, bringing the right hand underneath the right sole of the foot, and lifting the sole of the foot to the ceiling. The knee is aiming towards the floor, your shoulder. Left hand on the left waist. And just explore that half happy baby on the right side. And now a full happy baby. Bend the left knee up, slide your left hand down and hold your left sole of your foot. So both soles of the feet are up to the ceiling. And just, again, you can rock from side to side as you're up here. Just see if you prefer full happy baby or half happy baby. It's quite good for your hip flexibility. And again, you can feel that in your lower back. You're almost creating space in your lower back. And then bend your knees, hug both knees into the chest again. Just rock very gently from side to side. Place your right foot on the ground, knee up, foot on the ground. Open your left knee to the side as you place your left ankle on top of your right knee. Hands can be either resting on your abdomen or palms down. And just rock both knees from side to side. You're being supported by your right foot. That can rock too on the ground to support that movement. So it's starting to become a reclined pigeon movement. Half reclined pigeon. Fully cross your left leg over your right. Tummy in, perineum slightly engages. Lift both feet off the ground. And then slide your hands down to hold just above your ankles on your lower shins. So you'll find that quite naturally your right hand will go to your left leg and your left hand will go to your right. You can also hug higher up your knees if you want to, on your legs, on your knees almost, and that just pulls you in. It opens up the lower back. And then just very gently release. Uncross your left leg from your right. Just sway your knees, both of them, from side to side. And then bend your right knee, supporting it and turning it out to the right, resting the right ankle on the top of the left thigh. Hands either can be on your abdomen, on the floor. You can even have your left hand on the floor and your right hand just touching your right thigh, rocking from side to side. Your hips lift as you rock. So again, you're massaging across that lower back area. And then come to the centre as you fully cross over your right leg over your left. Tummy in, lower abdomen in slightly, perineum engages as you lift both feet off the ground and slide your hands down your outer shins, holding just above the ankles. And you'll feel this opening out your hips, particularly on the right hip, as you're crossing your right leg over your left. Just check that your chin's not shooting up to the ceiling, that the back of the neck's long. And you can stay static, which means no movement at all, or you can just wobble slightly from side to side, your choice. And then very gently release. Place both feet on the ground as you unravel. Knees bent, feet hip width apart. Hands either palms down or on your abdomen as you just rock gently both knees from side to side. And you can invite your head to join in so that your head would naturally move away from the direction of the knees. And then very gently come to roll to the right and coming up via onto your knees into a cat position or tabletop position. Take your time, particularly to allow your blood to adjust as you come upwards from having been on the ground. And then come to kneeling. And just carry on, your knees are hip width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. Just come to rocking on your knees from side to side. And then come to centre as you come into some classic cat-cows, dipping your back, looking either up or along the mat. Breathing out, rounding, chin goes to chest. Breathing in, dipping your back. And breathing out, rounding, chin to chest. Once more, cat and cow. Come to neutral. Turn your right palm up to look at you, and then slide your right palm underneath and through, like threading the needle, so that you come to lean on your right shoulder and the right side of your head. Bottoms high, and your left hand is on the ground, but you may walk your left hand slightly along the mat, upwards, towards the top of the mat, or just keep it bent. So you're gently resting on your right shoulder, and this is opening up all the way along the right side.
If you want to extend this pose, you can slide your left knee back and tuck your left toes under, lifting your left leg up. And this will bring you more onto your right shoulder and stretch your left toes out at the same time, but it is optional. It depends how balanced you feel. And then if you have got your left leg straight, then bend your left knee and bring it back down to the ground. Tummy in as you slide back out, your right hand comes out again and you come back to tabletop. And once you're there, just do a couple of cat-cows, breathing in, dipping your back, breathing out, rounding, chin comes to chest. Breathing in, dipping your back, cat, and breathing out, rounding, chin to chest. Come back to neutral. Turn your left hand palm up and slide your left hand up through like threading the needle. So your left palm comes up and goes behind your right hand. Come onto your left shoulder, left side of the head, bottom up high, and your right hand can stay bent, or you can walk and crawl your right hand up towards the top of the mat. Again, it's entirely how you feel. Your chin will naturally not be up, it will be, the back of the neck should be extended. It's just opening the shoulder, the left side of the head. And then very gently come back to tabletop again. Dipping your back, cat, rounding your back, cow. And then keeping your bottom high, tummy in, perineum engages, walk your hands forward so that you're on your elbows. Just take a breath here. And then you can extend your elbows forward. Your elbows can rest on the ground or can be off the ground so that you're in puppy pose. Your head might rest on the ground. You're stretching into your upper thoracic, upper back area. Just take a breath in and out very gently. If this is too much for you, then you can bend your elbows out to the side and rest your head, your forehead, on top of your hands, so that it becomes a much more, as a variation of puppy. It's not quite so deep. Take an in and an out breath here. And then flatten your hands to the ground and come up to tabletop again. Cat. This time as you round your back to cow, tuck your toes, tummy in to come to a very soft dog. Bend your knees, bottom away from you, weight away from your wrists, and then come to stretch your legs, extend them, walk the dog by bending one knee and then the other knee. And then both knees come back down to the ground. Slide your hands towards you as you kneel up and raise your hands above your head. You can look up. I'm going to look forward, choice, and then release your hands down alongside. Come back to cat, dipping your back, rounding your back. Bring your bottom to your heels to stretch out. Extended child. And actually, even if this feels uncomfortable, pressing your legs into your tummy has a subtle beneficial effect on your breathing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Slide your hands back to your knees as you kneel up. Stretch your hands up. Stretch your fingers. Lower your hands back down as you bring your hands to the ground. Stretch your hands out in front of you into extended child. Slide your hands back to your knees as you kneel up. Hands up, stretching your fingers. And then breathing out, bend your elbows. Bottom towards the heels. If that's too much for your knees, then have your bottom up slightly. Stretching your hands out. Extended child. Slide your hands towards you, and this time just come to the side. Sit in a cross-legged position. If that's too much for your knees, then sit with your legs out. Come to rest your hands on your knees. Just sit up and then round chin to chest. Sit up and round chin to chest. So it's almost like a wave through the spine, sitting up and then breathing out, rounding chin to chest. It's a seated cat-cow, sitting up and rounding. Come to sitting neutrally, and then breathing out, turn your head to the left, breathing into the left, breathing out, turn your head to the right. Breathing into the left, breathing out to the right. Breathing in as you turn your head to the left, and breathing out as you turn your head to the right. And just carry on a few times, just breathing in, turning your head from one side to the other. This becomes a mindfulness exercise, a breathwork exercise. It happens to be helpful for your thyroid and parathyroid, which is part of our metabolic control that can so often go out of kilter as we hit various hormonal stages in our life, menopause being one of the major thyroid disruptors. And you're also, as you're turning your head from side to side, balancing the left and the right brain hemispheres. And then very gently come to finishing turning your head from side to side. Come back to the centre. Have a thought for a moment, for a thought for the day. And that thought can be for you or someone close to you, someone you wish well today. And just the action of bringing the thought to your mind and repeating that thought a couple of times. You can now let that thought go. Your intention is set for the day. And now, different visualizations work for different people. Imagine yourself behind almost like a mirror wall. So everything positive can shine out. You can attract positive in, but anything negative gets bounced back to where it's come from, to the person from whom it's emanated or where the thoughts come from. So it's a different visualization. There's another visualization that you can wrap yourself in cotton wool, coloured cotton wool of your choice, and that cocoons you from everything negative. You can only have positive things in. But the mirror is another thought that you reflect back only. You repel anything that you don't want automatically and just only allow positive things through. So whichever visualization works for you, take a very mental bow for yourself by bringing your chin slightly to your chest, your hands to your heart. You set your intention for the day, you set your positive only thoughts for the day, and then just thank you very much for joining me.